Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Football Plug as we take a look around the NFL in week number 6. Let's start off with last night. We had the Chiefs versus the Bills in the more notable game, and the Chiefs finally are doing what I had asked them to do last week by running the ball. That's definitely the right way to attack the Buffalo defense, as their strength is in their defensive backfield with guys like Tre'Davious White. And you saw that the Chiefs just kept taking what they were given. They just hand the ball off. The Bills refused to put more guys in the box and try and stop the run because they were just too scared, I guess, of guys like Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill and Mecole Hardman over the top. So they just kept pounding the ball and, 260 yards rushing about. And that was the way to beat this team. And because the Bills never tried to stop it, the Chiefs walk away with a win. Moving on to the next game, the Cowboys looked atrocious. They need to stop turning the ball over. I believe they're last in turnover margin right now in the NFL, and until they fix that, they're not going to have a chance to make the playoffs, even with all this talent. I know they have tons of injuries, especially on the offensive line, but Mike McCarthy needs to come up with a way to develop a better complementary football game plan. And unfortunately, it's going to be a lot harder if Zeke, fumbles on back-to-back plays like he did last night. Moving on to the Sunday games, the Steelers are really making their case for, top team in the AFC right now. This should be a great matchup against the Titans this week. I'm really looking forward to that game. Steelers, though, they destroyed the Browns. Once they got that pick six from Minkah Fitzpatrick on the first drive, it was all but over because the Browns cannot be successful relying on Baker Mayfield's arm. They really need to establish the run game to have success in this league. Moving on to their opponents this week, the Titans. They had a really hard fought close game with the Texans, who have definitely gotten a jolt from that Bill O'Brien firing. I do think it was the right call for Romeo Crennel to go for 2, because if you get it, the game's basically over. Not just, no excuses about him, knowing he's not going to be back next year, or, he's a 70-something-year-old coach. If they got it, the game was over, and even if they didn't, they were still up by 7. All they needed to do was get a stop, and, if your defense can't do that, then, oh well. The Titans, however, they've looked great in every game. Derrick Henry's just dominating defenses, but their defense, the Titans, is not good enough to get them to the top of the AFC. And the biggest thing coming out of Tennessee is definitely the season-ending injury to Taylor Lewan, who I think we will see that in full force this weekend with them going up against the Steelers. I think they will lose this game because of that injury and the effect that Bud Dupree and TJ Watt will have rushing the passer and putting Tannehill under duress. Will, I think, get the Steelers the win this week. A couple other quick fire notes from week 6. The Patriots will only go as far as Cam Newton can take them because, as you saw, when they were throwing the ball, he was struggling. He couldn't complete passes. And that was a Broncos defense that gave up like 28 points to the Jets a couple weeks ago. So if the Patriots can't get more out of Cam Newton in their offense, they won't go far and they won't make the playoffs. Phillip Rivers went back in time, to save the Colts from what would have been a bad loss to the Bengals. After they were down 21 points, he started to push the ball down the field, and that got them the win. In the battle of the 12s between probably the GOAT and the BOAT, greatest of all time and best of all time, maybe, Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, there was only one winner. That was one of the worst performances I've seen from Aaron Rodgers. That was ugly. And the Bucs got it done with a balanced game plan. Ronald Jones looked great, and even without forcing the ball to Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, the Bucs got it done other ways. And as long as if they can do that, they'll be a threat to go far in the playoffs. Lastly, I was impressed with the Eagles and their fight against the Ravens. They were down like 21 points. They only lost by 2. And they had tons of injuries as well. And if, they can get the, consistent play from Carson Wentz, they'll be in a position to make the playoffs. Probably not win a game, but at least they'll host a playoff game. And, that's about as much as you can ask for with how bad the NFC East is. That's all for this episode. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll talk to you guys next time.